Hi everyone, my name is Victor and I am one of the authors of TechNeed. Today we're going to continue with our course where we're going to be looking at managing Ansible facts and creating Ansible custom facts. So what are Ansible facts? Ansible facts basically are just system properties. So these system properties can include, of course, the kernel version of the system, the storages, the disk on the system, the network properties on the system. So whatever information, whatever properties we have on the system, these properties are called facts. And the Ansible control node gathers these facts from the managed nodes. Whenever you run a playbook, the first task that we ever run is gathering facts. You would notice that in our previous lessons, whenever we run a playbook, so this is a screenshot of one of the playbooks we ran in our previous lesson, and you will notice that whenever we run a playbook, the first task that I ever run in a play, this is a play, for example, this is install, start, and enable HTTPD. So you can see that the first task that we ever run is to gather facts. And you can look at this other play here too. The first task that we ever run is to gather facts. So this play is going to, or this task rather, gathering facts, is going to gather facts on the local host, while this one is going to gather the facts on the local host and hq-dev1.technique.com. And don't forget, like I said, facts are they're just basically the system information, the system properties. The Ansible control node uses the setup module to gather these facts from the managed nodes. And this setup module in newer Ansible version always run by default, and that's why you're seeing this gathering facts. It's using the setup modules to gather these facts, and they always run by default. Facts are very important. Facts is a simple way and easy way to get information or system properties that can help to determine what action to take based on the state of a managed host. And apart from these two, as a matter of fact, facts are Alright, in short, facts are just some other form of variables. You can use facts as variables, and that's why gathering of facts or facts are important in Ansible. So how do you even gather facts in Ansible? Like I said, by default, Ansible does that automatically, and it uses the setup module. For example, let's try and gather the fact, or let's try and see the fact. See the fact on hqsdev1.technique.com. Let's see the fact here. So to do that, we can do Ansible. We can use the add-doc command and say Ansible hqsdev1.technique.com. Like I said, we're going to use the setup module, and this is going to be setup. So it's trying to fetch the fact. Oops, we're not in the Ansible directory. Yeah, like I always say, what we did was to configure Ansible in the current working directory, and this is the directory. So let's gather the fact again. So we're gathering the fact, we're using the setup module to gather the fact on hqsdev1.technique.com. So it's taking its time, it's trying to gather the facts. Alright, so this is done. If you scroll up, you can see a lot of information about hqsdev1.technique.com. In fact, you can see that there are a lot of them. Wow, we have a lot of them. So these are just the system properties. You can see here, you can see hqsdev1. You can see Ansible facts. You can see all the IPv4 addresses on hqsdev1.technique.com. We have 192.168.122.1 and 192.168.72.140. You can see the IPv6 addresses. You can see the Ansible architecture, the architecture of the system, which is 64-bit. You can see the BIOS date. You can see the BIOS version of the system. You can see, in fact, you can see a lot of system properties. You can see date and time. If you scroll down, I mean, there are a lot of them. You can see a lot of information. And what you can also do is to use the more command, or you can pipe these two to the less command, and you can also search for whatever fact you're looking for. You can also see that the information is displayed in JSON format. All right. So, because when we get to how to create custom facts, we will either create custom facts in JSON format or INI format. We cannot create custom facts using the YML data structure, and that's why you can see that the output of these facts are in JSON format. We've been able to gather facts using the ad hoc command. We can also gather facts using a playbook. To gather facts using a playbook, you can just create a playbook file, and then you can use the debug module, and this is the variable. You can use this method, and when you run the playbook, you see that the facts are going to be gathered. So what I'm going to be doing as usual is to drop the link to this documentation guide in the description box below. All right, like I said, facts are some other form of playbook, other form of variables rather. So let's even see how we can refer to facts in the playbook. So what we're going to do is to create a playbook file. This is going to be, we stopped at my 4th playbook, so let's do my 5th playbook.yml. So here I'm going to create a playbook with the name gather facts and host. Oops, this should be here. Indentation, like I always tell you. So host is going to be hqs dev1.technid.com, and task. So I'm going to give the task a name. I'm going to say gather hqs dev1.technid.com facts, and I'm going to use the debug module, and I'm going to use the message argument. So I can say my kernel version is just, it's a fact. And when you look at the fact information, it's always in this form, which is Ansible fact kernel and my FQDN is Ansible fact. Then I need to include the FQDN fact, which is going to be FQDN. So if you're confused, just try and look at the fact you gathered. You would see this information. You would see how the facts are being displayed, and that's the same thing we're doing here. So it's going to be Ansible fact, then of course kernel, and FQDN, Ansible fact FQDN. So let's save this and run a playbook syntax check, which is going to be Ansible playbook, my 5th -- syntax check. So this is fine. Let's run the playbook. Now you can see the task, which is gather hqsdev1.technique.com fact, and the fact that we gathered on this machine, we gathered the kernel version, and you can see the message which says my kernel version is, this is the kernel version, and the fqdn of this server is hqsdev1.technique.com. so you can see the information or the step properties of hqsdev1.technique.com that we were able to gather. You will notice that whenever you run a playbook, the playbook operation time takes time because it tries to gather the facts, it tries to gather the information of the system you're running the operation against, and that's why it takes time. So in some scenarios, in some situations, you might not want to, you might not have that luxury of time. Therefore, you can stop Ansible from gathering facts automatically. And to do that, all you need to do is just to use the syntax gather facts first in the playbook. So let's just do that. Let's edit our playbook. So I'm just going to remove this. And here I'm going to add gather facts. I'm going to make it false. And task, so let's just use a very common task. Let me give it a task name. I can say install httpd, and I can use the John module, of course, name httpd. So I can save this file, and let's try and run this playbook. You would notice that it automatically jumped gathering fact task. It just it didn't take time the way it usually takes time, unlike when we run our playbook and we did not include the gather facts for syntax. So it's only taking its time on trying to install httpd, and now this is done. So this is a way you can avoid the control node. You can make the control node not to always gather facts. In the next lesson, we're going to look at how to create a custom an Ansible custom fact. Alright, so thank you for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, share, like, comment. This is how you're going to help us to do more, and this is how you can pay us back. Alright, so thank you once more, and bye for now.